What's up, everybody? Here today to talk about the heavyweight division. So, in the past, the heavyweight division has typically made a division point around 110 kilo or even lighter, 105 kilo. Back long ago, the heavyweight division was at times considered the 100 kilo division. So, I'd say in today's modern arm wrestling scene, you have potentially a few heavyweight classes. The biggest currently being 115 kilo class. You have a lot of action at 110 and 105. So, what's going on from my perspective? We have, do we have a number one in this division? And who is he? And is there any debate? So it's been spoken that Evgeny Prudnik is the Levon of the heavyweight division. I've heard people say that. I don't think that that's entirely true. However, he is arguably the number one guy at 115 or 110 or 105 kilo. Who are the people who are knocking on that door? So right away, the biggest match we have coming up is Monster Michael Todd versus Prudnik, and that is in like a month or so. I think it's a super hype match. If you look at Evgeny's performance the last little bit, most notably, I mean, he injured Morozov, okay, which was crazy to see. Then he went on to, beat up Matt Mask without too much difficulty. And then he totally destroyed Todd Hutchings. And now he has, and then there's his past to consider as well. I mean, this is just his recent past. So it would be hard to say that he is not the heavyweight or big heavyweight, whatever class you want to call it, number one in the world at the moment. Michael has been active in the super heavyweight division for a long time. This will be the first time, I believe, in a very, very long time that Michael has arm wrestled in a weight category, whatever it is. So, a very interesting match, and that's coming up. My personal thoughts on it now are that it will be a very good match, a very, very good match. We'll see. Who can kind of shed doubt on this spot? Kurdigali Angarbayev has been arm wrestling, probably a tiny bit lighter, probably like 100 kilo, 105 kilo, but extremely well. So that puts him in that heavyweight bracket for the number one spot. Potentially in a more lighter heavyweight, call the other one a big heavyweight zone. And I mean, he just beat John in a debatable match. I think that there's room for John potentially to have a rematch there, but John, based off of results, Kurdigali beat him, and Kurdigali has been winning for a very long time. Another notable guy who can screw up that whole area is the current WAF champ, I believe. I think he's the current WAF champ, Sandras Sedis. He's been just dominating that region, that 110 kilo area for quite some time. So you have Mike, you have Prudnik, and I think that right now, if you just say Prudnik's number one and Michael has a shot, I think that that's a good place to start. Um, I think that Angerbayev may be the best at heavyweight if it's just a little bit lighter, maybe. And I think that Sanders might be in there with both of them, depending on the weight and the rules. And there are certainly a few dark horses, like you can never, ever count out John, never. And you have a bunch of young guys that are totally knocking at that door. I don't want to get into that name, but I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this match. It's a big one for the heavyweight division, which I think is just starting to kind of get a little bit more heat and light because the super heavyweights is just so nailed down when it comes to number one. And really, to me, sport is about being number one. Like to fight for number two is cool, but like to be number one, even in a division, sometimes is somewhat more appealing. Speaking about the super heavyweight division, so Dave Chafee was just so incredible. I can't go on enough about how impressed I was with his match with Vitali. He like leveled up. It was so awesome to watch. And I know that I personally have been a critic of Dave in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong. When I say critic, I'm just a huge. I've always been impressed by Dave Chafee, of course. He's incredible. However, I've been one of the ones who has said that I don't believe that he should be ranked as high based off of some of his losses in the past. And it is my belief now that what he did with Vitali, and a lot of people are like, well, of course, Devon, he was already there. What are you, delusional? But I now believe that Dave would be the guy to beat in North America, regardless of where Jerry Cataract is ranked in the world, and the fact that both Michael, Todd, and myself have beat him the last time. His evolution in the match with Vitali has opened him up to look at that number two spot much more firmly. Only issue for that number two spot in the super heavyweight division, well, there's Hermes. Hermes is potentially the last obstacle for Dave. And the return of Denis Saplankov. Where will that end up? Where will that land? Anyways, just my thoughts on arm wrestling this morning. Good stuff coming up. And I remain a week-old, washed-up man. Stay massive, everybody.